Thank you for joining us tonight on the Business and Brews show. Tonight we have Heather. Ryan will be on set with us in just a minute, I promise. And we'll also have a special after brew guest. Stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to the Business and Brews podcast, where our mission is to highlight local businesses in the Triangle area and shed light on different industries.
You used to just bounce around. Yeah. Welcome back, guys. Surprise, surprise. I wasn't here and now I am.
Yeah, that's right. I told you he'd join us.
Yeah. So
speaking of joining us, we have Heather as well.
Yeah. So thanks to Heather, she actually flew in from Oklahoma. Okay, that's a place.
Yeah. And boy, our arms tired too.
Just like all day long, man.
Awesome. So I'm really happy to have Heather here.
Thank
I'm
you.
really grateful to Nick for letting us use Trek CBD. If you saw us get started and stop all of a sudden like 3 or 4 times just now,
yes.
That's a new thing we're trying to get your attention. So
that is
worked.
The remix to the intro. Apparently.
It works.
Yeah.
Remix. Next week we'll have DJ Khaled do
Yes.
the remix for us. So
Well,
no promises.
Now you're getting my hopes up. No promises.
Where's the asterisk, right?
Yeah, where's that?
Fine print.
So Heather, really quick before we jump into it, just very briefly, who are you and what do you do?
Yeah, so my name is Heather Windle. I live in the middle of Oklahoma. Clayton Windle's my brother. I think he was on a couple weeks ago. And nice. I am with a sales company. We do sales and marketing and leadership and training. So
nice.
I kind of get people ready to do what I do and better themselves organically. So it's nice.
Well, thank you so much for being here, Heather.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Awesome. So, I was talking about Nick. He is growing. So the fact that he wasn't able to be our producer tonight, that's probably why we had so many technical difficulties.
Yeah, we have 2 guest producers. So.
Yeah, yeah.
They are awesome.
That's how we know we're moving up in the world.
You had to have 2 of them.
Whenever your boss is your guest producer, you're moving up in the world.
Yes.
So I feel like because there is a set of headphones involved, and the intent behind that is definitely to monitor sound. Mm-hmm. But at this point, I feel like he's just wearing them for looks.
I'm 90% sure nobody's listening to anything we're saying over there with the headphones.
No, they're not.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah,
you're good.
Yeah. Good. Sounds great.
So anyways, back to Nick. I'm really thankful that he lets us use this space and set up here. He's opening a second store in Holly Springs. So, of course, here in Wake Forest, down in Holly Springs, we talk about this every week. I actually have a 5-month-old puppy that goes nuts. And Nick sells CBD calm treats for dogs and puppies. What I absolutely love about those treats specifically is that they're sectioned, so you can actually break them to fit the weight of the dog, read the back, follow the directions, which are super clear, and it helps with Nugget's anxiety, because if you leave him alone for 5 minutes, he gets upset. So we
just
talk
like
about we talk about anxiety, sleep problems, and pain management when it comes to CBD, but that also goes for dogs as well. So because they're not open up here on Sundays, Nick's opening a second location. My suggestion to everyone is they do delivery and they ship for free. Just head to the website, trekcbd.com. It's in the description of the video. Everything's on the website. If you want the experience, I highly recommend it as well. Check out their hours on that website and then come visit when they're open. You're probably going to see Nick here or someone that works for Trek CBD. They're all great. They're friendly, and they're focused on education. So if you have questions, trekcbd.com, you can reach out to them that way or come in the store and visit them.
Yeah, I mean, definitely if you can come in the store, just simply because Nick and his team are definitely super knowledgeable, especially with something as new as CBD and all the applications that are actually available out there. It's crazy. I was actually in a grocery store the other day, and it had a sign that said, like, CBD available here. And I'm like, well, who's going to explain what I need?
Nobody.
At Publix or whatever grocery store.
Or how much you should be taking.
Or how much I should be taking, or like what, which brand is actually going to be the better fit. So these guys are super knowledgeable. Definitely, if you have those needs, please feel free to come into the showroom.
It's a cool show. Like, this is a cool store too. It's nice to come into, and like everything's very easily displayed and broken down to where you can see what's what, and it's I like it.
She has to be telling the truth because she can fly.
I can fly. I'm magic.
So, anyways, Gavin, I think you brought the beer tonight.
Yes.
You want
to? I brought Highland Brewing. I think we're doing two. Highland Brewing, of course, they're out of Asheville. I'm actually drinking the Tropical Juicy Citrus, so definitely very tasty there. It's another IPA.
Nice.
I know those are your favorites. You
He
can't
said
even say that.
Is that sarcasm? I was like, I'm picking up on some.
Yeah, it's my
sarcasm
second
there.
language. Sorry.
Same. You're good. Fluent English is actually my second. We'll be all right.
I have the Seeing Double IPA by Foothills Brewing out of Winston-Salem.
Nice.
That's just the other side of Greensboro.
That's right. That's also where isn't that like the Texas Pete headquarters in Winston-Salem too? Yeah. Anyway, yeah, Texas Pete, like the hot sauce. Yes.
Oh, I don't even know what
yes,
Texas Pete is.
Oh yes, yes. It's a southern thing.
I'm
Just
just gonna sit here.
in case you weren't aware, like we're on camera.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
can hear you.
Yeah, I'm aware. I'll look dumb any day. I don't care.
It's definitely. I mean, there was this taco place or something right near Fort Hood when I was stationed down there, and they had all these different hot sauces. And so when I would eat there, I feel like I can't remember what the prices were, but it was all right, you know.
Yeah.
And they had so many, probably 100 or 200 different ones. So I was like, every time I ate there, I was like, "Ooh, I'm going to try that one. I'm going to try that one."
Yeah.
And then you could try it, and then you could go buy it if you liked it. And so that's what I would do. And I ended up with tons of different hot sauces before the heartburn issues started to set in.
In my head, I'm going, I'm almost 40. That's a lot of heartburn right there.
Yeah,
Like,
that is. Yeah, that's
Well,
just not a good idea at
Yeah,
all.
no.
I don't like that at all.
Good for you, man.
No. Back then, I got out of the Army when I was 28.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I was probably around that, you know, while I was still in maybe like 26 when I got to Fort Hood. So
Yeah.
it wasn't too bad, but it was good. It was a lot, in my opinion, it had more flavor, more options than Texas Pete.
Yeah, well, yeah, Texas Pete I don't consider really hot sauce. It's just
Yeah.
good like on hot fish and.
That's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
this is one we can mass produce and put in the grocery
that's right.
store.
Yeah, there you go. It's not enough for the Southerners, so let's just put it out there. Anyways,
What have you been doing this week?
what have I been doing? I actually just came off of a pretty good weekend. We had date night last night, so that was awesome.
Where'd you go?
We went to this Mexican place. I don't remember the name of the Mexican place, so
That good,
the
huh?
drinks were really that good.
Perfect.
No, but it just was good just to spend time with my little man was with his with my wife's parents, so
Nice.
his grandparents. So
Date night's
A little
important.
alone time.
they are,
Yeah,
very much
I think
so.
I think married people forget to date each other. I think they
Yes.
forget about that whole
Yes.
courtship before you guys got married.
Yes.
Because I'm very single. Before you guys got married, and I think that like people forget that you have to maintain that relationship. You
Yeah.
have to go on dates. You have to date yourselves.
Yeah,
I
I just
think
walk
people
around the
forget
house
that.
and just like tell her, "Hey, I have papers on you, woman." That's like the whole thing.
Wow. You're papered. That's good. I bet she feels really good about
I have
Yeah,
herself
she
too.
was very
on you,
special.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if there's any advice I could give to you from there,
Don't tell her she's papered.
I love that we
I'm just
say
joking.
stuff like this, like they're not watching,
Yeah, I know, right?
but
Yeah,
she
that's-
definitely
yeah,
is.
she definitely is. So it's all right. But she she knows me. She knows how I am. So
Hopefully, I mean, she wouldn't have married you if she wasn't okay with it, right?
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
yeah,
Hopefully.
yeah.
So
Hopefully
Heather,
not,
I know you flew in. Well, I guess I got to recap my week, but we'll get to that because
Yeah.
I'm
more
interested.
yeah.
I know you flew in, and I'm thankful that you're on the show. I
Thank
appreciate
you for
that.
having me. Yeah, thank you for having me.
But you know, before that, what's your week been like? What have you been up to?
A little crazy. So I went full time with this business on September 1st, and I've been doing it about a year and a half in conjunction with another another job.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really been finding my flow and what I need to do from day to day to make sure that I maintain and I don't have to like crash course it. So it's a lot of scheduling is basically what I've been doing. And then I flew out here. So, you know, that took day and a half, 3 days, something like that. My arms got tired, man.
Yeah,
Like
I
real
know,
tired.
Tell you, man.
Yeah, but
Stop
I don't
and
know.
rest.
I got a couple of cats and a dog, and we just kind of chill and hang out, and I work sometimes and go eat lunch with friends, and that's kind of my life.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sounds like the dream to me.
I'm not lying. I'm not going to lie. I love it. Worked very hard for it.
What do you do? Whatever I want.
Yeah,
Pretty
whenever
much,
I
yeah.
want. Whenever I want.
I don't have to set an alarm anymore. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I definitely is a good thing. Ryan, how about yourself? You beautiful piece of man candy, messing with the mouse. What's going on?
Yeah. So one reason is because I see red up there, so I feel like we may not be live anymore.
Okay.
I also saw the thing pop up.
Yeah, that'll probably be all right because we have the recorded version.
Yeah, so we'll just do that.
I mean, unless you guys want me to stop and try to fix it. Votes? No.
I'm down for whatever y'all need to do.
Let's just do the recorded version and pop it up afterwards. Or is it back up? No.
Looks like it's thinking about it.
Recorded version it is.
Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed because that box was supposed to fix that problem.
Ew.
Oh, nice box.
I mean, it's just recorded. I
That's
can
fine.
cut this part out. We can go live again.
Okay, that's fine. All right. Sure show, buddy.
Yeah, I just came to hang out.
Yeah. Just came to drink the beer. I came for the free beer. It's here for the beer.
I feel like part of it is the Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Were you doing it on the Wi-Fi before?
Yeah, but the laptop has an internal Wi-Fi card, number one.
Oh, and then this is the Wi-Fi card from Walmart.
You haven't.
This computer is super powerful, but if you feed it internet, it is not. So the best thing you can do is hardline it.
I was sorry, do you have an Ethernet cable?
No, not one long enough.
Yeah. I mean,
The router is back there.
so what you don't think we just should do the recorded version and pop it up? I mean, because my fear is like we get it going and then it pops out again and then that's my fear. I mean, what are your thoughts?
Is there an advantage to going live that I don't know about? Like,
Just the expectation
Yeah.
for our audience.
Yeah.
Everyone that normally watches.
yeah.
So moral of the story is I'm going to take that back and get it, just splice my cord. We won't have that problem anymore.
There you
Yeah.
go.
We'll just do the recorded version and
Well, they can edit it out.
we'll
Yeah.
do the recorded one. Yeah. Yeah. What?
I'm gonna be very careful not to.
If there's a risk like that involved, I will. But other than that, I'm not sitting there doing
Yeah, no,
a
that's crazy.
Yeah.
thousand
be-
cuts. That's
Okay.
that's why when people come on and cuss, I learn more about the post production. Like when I
Yeah.
upload it to YouTube,
Yeah.
and it's like YouTube, you have to check this box, that box, that box to make sure it's good. And I'm on it because I don't want to have to go back, and I'm lazy.
Okay.
I don't want to have to go back and do that many cuts.
Are you lazy
So
or are you
what-
self-aware?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Both.
I like it.
If you want to, you can do whatever you
can
want.
film
That's
this, yeah. Like,
that's
you
your
can go-
phone.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want.
So what do you want to pick up at? Like, where do you want to start recording from? Or
We're still recording, so
Okay, so
wherever
you-
you
Oh,
want.
hey.
okay. Well.
I never stopped recording.
Okay. All right,
Fun
well, cool.
fact.
All right. So where are we? Where do you want to pick up at?
So my week.
Yeah. How was your week, Ryan? Sorry.
My week was good. So, obviously throughout the week I get to help small businesses with their phone systems.
Yeah.
And on the weekend, I get to move 2 bedrooms worth of books to the storage unit.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, so
That's
that was
eventful.
that was pretty intense. Thankfully, I had help.
Mhm.
So that was definitely good.
Sounds
If you
But
see random boxes of books just be shipped to you, you're welcome.
Where are these boxes from Oklahoma doing at my door?
These are old. Where
Where does this even come from?
yeah, how did they get my address? Oh, right.
Did my books have babies? And
Yeah.
These are your books' grandparents. Well done.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I had this bright idea, like way back when, that I wanted to do in like an online bookstore, right? And
Uh-huh.
so I got out with all my friends. I was like, hey, if you have any books you don't want, just drop them
Just
off
give
on
'em
my
here,
porch. It'd
yeah.
be cool, right? You know how many Reader's Digest books I have?
Oh my God.
All
What
of them. All of them.
You have a lot of those too, don't you?
The real
Read-
thick ones with
Reader's
like 5
Digest?
stories in them?
Yeah.
A ton
You
of
have
them.
those?
No.
No?
Not Reader's Digest. No.
Do you want some?
Yeah.
No.
Me neither.
There's a
Not even a
hole in
little
your
bit.
collection, sir.
There are no holes or empty spaces in that storage unit. So yeah, Saturday I woke up. I got everything kind of prepped inside the house, and you know, Toya wasn't on her game, so to speak. So she was like, well, I'm just going to relax and watch TV.
Mm-hmm.
But we were going to be cutting through the living room, so I set the Fire Stick up in the bedroom so she could watch that, and made sure Nugget went out and ate breakfast. And then come 8:30, 9 o'clock, went to get the truck, backed it up. And then help showed up shortly after that. Oh, I had to do a beer run because we weren't doing it without that.
No, never that.
And then help showed up, and we started loading stuff in. Got done pretty quick, especially the first load. Got it loaded up, across the street, emptied. I want to say it maybe took 4 hours.
Wow.
From beginning to end. And
It's not
then
bad,
the second load, because I had another full truck to take, so I backed it up. After we did the first one, everybody took off, and I took a nap first because I was beat, you know.
Books are heavy.
Yeah, they are.
And you know, it's kind of like
it's all the words that makes them heavy.
Right. Well played, sir.
But
Really best friends.
Yes, we
Yes.
can.
I got
Did
the.
this just happen? Did this just happen?
I started working on the
Right.
second load, and then this morning I finished it and took it across the street and unloaded it. All the words.
All the words.
And,
all the words. Yep.
And then somebody from one of my meetups donated books to me.
That was nice of
And
them.
yeah, very nice of them.
I'm a little concerned about the donation in air quotes, though. Like, did you
Yeah.
have to pay for these donated books?
Well, no, but
Okay.
I say that because I'm not a nonprofit, so
Yeah.
I can't cut them a receipt, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're gonna have more for me, and then, you know, she was headed to the warehouse to drop them off yesterday, and so I felt bad, so I went and picked them up since I had the truck, and then there's been this mattress that I've been trying to get rid of forever, in my house, and I finally had a truck, so I was like, all right, I drove by the
How
dump.
did you fit all this into one day?
You know, I'm tired listening to it. I need a nap.
All this happened in one day.
She said, I need a
I
nap.
need a nap.
I just got lucky because the guy at the dump was like, normally you need a permit, but since it's just a mattress, we'll let you go. And I was like, you're an all right guy.
Yeah, you're
Hold
all right
up.
with
You
me.
have to have a permit to use your dump?
Because I had a box truck.
Yeah.
Oh.
Something had to do with the box truck, I
Well,
think.
something with the box truck, and he pulled up with a beard, and yeah,
I'm-
it was. There were a lot of red flags going out there. He needed a permit.
Actually,
I
that's the
needed- you need
reason
a
why he
permit.
said
Go
I didn't. He was like, since it's you,
Right?
you know.
The beard, man.
Yes,
Come on
yeah.
in.
Anyways, so Heather,
Yes.
you said basically sales company.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously there's sales, there's marketing.
Mhm.
And you talked about a lot of leadership
Mhm.
development.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, like, I realized like you were working 9 to 5 and you
Sure.
got a lot of freedom now, but
Mhm.
what made you want to get into it to begin with?
So I basically needed a hookup for the product that I loved, and I couldn't find anybody that stayed stable and consistent with it. So I decided to join, and then I kind of dabbled in it a little bit. I never wanted to have a team, and all of a sudden I had a team, and all of a sudden I had a really big team. I didn't know what the heck to do with that either.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, so I had to do. I'm still doing a lot of training on how to actually train people and lead people because I never stop learning ever. I never want to be the smartest person in the room. So
Right.
I try to maintain that, but I really got into it just to be my own hookup, and then it turned into like this full business that I absolutely love. Yeah, so I've been in it for like 6 years, and I've been solid with it for about a year and a half. Yeah.
That's good.
Thank you.
Again, I think we talked about this off camera, but congratulations
Thank
on
you.
getting to that point. I think that's everybody's dream is to actually do something that you actually want to do on a
Yeah.
day-by-day basis and actually get out of that 9 to 5, rut that a lot of people are in. So
Yeah.
congratulations
Thank
on
you.
that. So what are some of the things or some of the challenges that you've had to overcome, like with having to lead teams and leadership and developing people? I know that's
Sure.
that's a skill set within itself.
It is, yeah. I'm not one to, I don't want to say it wrong, but I'm not one to like hold your hand and walk you through step by step. And I've had to really understand that because I don't learn that way, doesn't mean they don't learn that way. So I had to really pay attention to my team and who they are as individuals instead of like the big picture of it, and make sure that I was meeting needs of everybody according to personalities.
Right.
And I think that was one of the hardest things for me, is because I'm a self-starter. I assume everybody else is too. And if they're not, that's perfectly fine. If they're not, I will gladly show you what I do. I have to remember that I have to show people. So
Yeah.
I think that's my biggest challenge is that I have to remember that not everybody thinks like I do.
Yeah,
So,
that in itself is always a challenge.
hard.
Because you think
Yeah.
that people are like as driven, as motivated
Yeah,
as you are,
no.
like
Mm.
the exact same. Like, oh, everybody's just like me. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. No,
Yeah.
So
And-
then you have people like Ryan, and you're like, oh,
Oh.
Is that the noise you made when you met me? Is that what that was
There's
like?
Ryan.
no, that's
Oh, no.
no, it's because Clayton's here. I just like jacking with you because Clayton's
So, I came in. I was sitting beside him one time. We met at an Amazon meetup. Basically, kind of like what you talked about. You're selling books.
Yeah.
I was like, Gary Vee said, sell books. So I was like, okay. and so I met him at the Amazon meetup that a buddy introduced me to. And if you guys hear laughing off camera, we have a live studio
Yeah, we
audience
do.
tonight.
It's kind of
awesome.
nice.
This is
That's pretty cool.
the first in ever, I think.
We're doing a lot of firsts
This is
today.
a-
Like, I'm your first out-of-stater, and it's your
First
first,
live in the studio audience.
amateur producers and double producers and live
I like
audience.
Live studio audience.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
That
This
is
is really exciting.
Y'all are moving up.
Yes, we are.
We need a few more chairs
Yeah.
in here.
Like a
Anyways,
circle.
what was I saying? So I met him and I sat down beside him, and he was, he already had like this mapped out plan of what his business was going to look like, how he was going to automate it so he can make certain transitions and stuff like that. And I sat down beside him, and he was on his laptop using this software. It was
I think it was technical arbitrage.
tactical arbitrage, yeah, which has come a long, long way
Yes, it
even
has,
since
yeah.
then. Holy
And-
smokes!
and
But I was
it's
like,
been
I
a
was
while.
watching him, and I was like, "What's that do? What's that do? What's that do? Why are you doing that?" And he was like, "So basically, this scans the internet for profitable products, and then I buy them and sell them." And I was like, "Okay." And he explained it, so he's not only is he never touching the product. But as far as like sourcing, conducting the searches and stuff, he could outsource to a virtual assistant.
Nice.
I think I signed up that night. I was like, yeah, I've been going to the store and using a similar piece of software, but I'm like, but I've been going to the store.
I mean, I don't have to go anywhere or see anybody. Let's do this.
I'm curious if they're public, and if they are, what their stock looks like,
Yeah.
or what the growth of that company looked like, because retail
I'll check.
arbitrage had to take a dip
Yeah.
during the pandemic. I'm
Yeah,
getting
I
off
think
track here. Anyways, I have a question for
Squirrels.
you.
I have an answer for you.
Thank goodness.
Nice.
Yeah.
So recently,
That's right.
I've
Yes,
been,
we are.
looking at hiring someone or internship or something like that for my books, right? And so I learned the hard way that you may not want to reject other applicants just because you think you filled the position.
Yeah.
Okay, so the problem that I had, obviously, was that guy, I offered him, he accepted, supposed to come in the very next day and do paperwork. I use air quotes there because it was going to be a contractor, so what's your PayPal email address, and then maybe give him a little bit of training for 30 minutes to an hour and then see him the next day. And when I called him up or texted him or something like that, it was probably like, late at night, he texted me back and was like, "Hey, sorry, whatever," which is fine, but because I had like 10 other applicants that I had already placed in the reject pile, I was able to salvage one, which was nice. But like, what does your process look like when you're, I don't know, vetting people or talking
Sure.
to them? Your recruitment process, basically.
Yeah. We're not like an application kind of thing. Like, we're kind of what Clayton does. Like, you can, if you want to do this, I will come talk to me and I'll teach you how to do it. So, as I can't really answer to that as far as what I do now, but I can tell you, like, from my last job, we would always take like 4 or 5 applicants and always keep those until we actually have found somebody that fit. That way we always had our main stay. So as far as like my job now, I'm always looking, and if anybody wants to come, then cool. And if they're driven, then I'm awesome with it. If not, if they want to be a hobbyist, which is what we call it, then they can do their thing, but I'm always still looking. So I never really stop that whole, I'm looking for the next me to come in, and I just kind of take everybody under my wing that wants to come in anyway and show them what I do and how they can make money at it or not make money at it. If they want to be a hobbyist, I can tell them how to do that the best as well. So it's kind of like they come to me and I kind of help them out. Yeah.
I think, I mean, I know with us, like in the automotive sector, like we're always constantly looking for people. Like, we're
Mm.
always constantly advertising that we're hiring, because you never know, like, when that good fit's going to come along.
Yeah.
And then, you know, worst case scenario, if you do find somebody good and don't have space for them, you can always kind of put them on
Yeah.
the back burner. And, you know, if as that need does come up, you can actually pull from that.
I would also say to be very
careful.
careful about not dismissing somebody too early.
Yeah.
Like, just because they don't meet every single criteria that you have for them doesn't mean they're not going to be a fantastic asset to whatever it is you're doing. Because you never know what they're hiding underneath. Or because, like, I get very nervous at interviews. I suck at them. I don't
Yeah.
do well, right? Like, I've lost jobs because I don't do interviews well. And I'm a fantastic asset. So don't be so quick to dismiss who you don't think is going to work out either. I say give everybody a shot, and if they work, cool. If not, that's cool too.
The hard part in the speed bump for me was I tell everyone I don't believe in dragging people along.
Sure.
So in my mind, I was like, hey, I'm going to let you know
Yeah.
either way, no matter what. And then the 3 people that we did in-person interviews with, I talked to Toya. She's my HR manager / fiance. And
Sounds like a keeper. I'd keep her around.
we categorized them. And so we were like, okay, you know, we talked to this first person, and if expectations aren't met, we move to the next
Sure.
one. If they are, then we have the position filled. And so once I filled it, I thought I immediately had to go out and let them know. And, I mean, I kind of did, because I did tell them before the end of the week. But at the same time, that was on Thursday, so I could have at least given it 24 to 48 hours, you know, to follow through. And so, I mean, lesson learned, you know. I'm just a little butthurt because I'm doing the same thing for my dad.
Yeah.
And, I mean, very comparable. I think the biggest difference is he's looking for someone to fill a contractor position at their own hours, you know, pace, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm looking for part-time, identified in the title
Yeah.
of the position, part-time intern or,
Yeah.
you know, contractor. And so I don't know if it's those words but that are shying people away, but he's gotten probably 3 times the applicants I
Yeah.
have in the same amount of time.
Yeah,
And I told him that. I was like,
Yeah, and I think that's a lot of what it is too. People see full time and they think, you know, steady. This is what I want to
Yeah.
do. They see part time, they're like, I really need full time out.
Full-time
Like I
hours,
need
yeah.
something
especially
more.
right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then another thing that I have learned along the way is that even if they are your nose right then, tell them I'm sorry right now. It's not going to be a good fit for right now, but I'm keeping your application on file in case we have something open up,
Yeah.
or we've gone a different direction right now, but your application's on file, and then you can just refer back to them. That way, if you call them a week later because number one ghosted, you know, they're kind of okay with, oh, okay, you know, and they might come back to you if they've not found something. So always, I mean, you can tell them no nicely and just let them know that, you know, you're going to keep them in mind
Yeah.
because they might be a good fit. Yeah,
Yeah.
just kind of flip that verbiage a little.
That's a great point. I think.
Yeah.
Definitely a good point. So, you know, with that, I know you're in Oklahoma,
Sure.
and I know how the whole pandemic and COVID has kind of affected things here. What pivots or adjustments have you had to make based on what you do currently?
Okay, so
Bro.
Bro, I
Bro.
like that.
In-
see, we're besties
Oh, we're-
already.
yeah.
You like that, yeah.
So in what I do, everything is very in your face. It's
Right.
very oral, like for nose, right? So my problem is now I can't have people smelling my stuff, because the thing is, if they can smell it, we can sell it, right? I can't have them smell it anymore. So I've had to really revamp my approach with how I can get my product and my samples and stuff in front of my customers. I've also gone a lot more digital and a lot more social media than I was before. Like my online presence has really grown since this whole mess. And then like we had a major round of hyper growth as a company wide. So that's been kind of interesting as well, because everybody's like, wait a minute, I need a full-time job and you guys are hiring, and like I don't have to keep product on hand, and I can like, you know, hook up my friends and make some money at this, and like they're seeing that it's an actual viable business. And so our recruitment has gone way up too. So it is, yeah. I think we're having the opposite effect of a lot of small businesses, because we've experienced hyper growth. So now we're all freaking out, trying not to get overwhelmed with
Trying to
how
keep
many
up
people
with it all.
we've all of a sudden gotten. Like I probably gained 300 or 400 customers just since March.
Wow.
Yeah, and probably 6 recruits just since March, because everybody's like, wait a minute, you're making this like a full-time job? I'm like, yeah. Like, well, let me sign up. And so, you know, I'm showing them what I do, and now all of a sudden I've got solid people underneath me that are actually wanting to make this a business. So I'm actually seeing more driven people as well, like a lot less hobbyists and a lot more like me that want to make this an actual business. So we kind of went the opposite direction. We went hyper growth, and then everything's delivered right to your door. You don't have to go anywhere. There's no like sanitation. You don't have to social distance anything. It's all very instant.
It's all right there.
Yeah. So
That's
we
good.
kind of went the opposite way. Yeah.
That's great. That's good
That's a
though.
good
Yeah.
thing. That's a good problem to have.
It's a very good problem to have.
A lot of it sounds like a lot of opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
and that's, I mean, just like you said, it's super important right
Mm-hmm.
now. So, well, I was going to say, with all this going on, what I guess you just talked about it. Really, what are some of the challenges that you've seen during the pandemic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how has that affected what you do?
Yeah. That's a great question. 'Cause I really think that we all had to think differently about what we do, because we're also very home-based in person. And all of a sudden we went from like this, where we sit around and kind of talk about things and then people would buy and whatever, to now everything is very virtual. And I have a problem being all virtual as well. Like if you see me, I'm always on social media. I would like to get out of that, right? So
Right.
it's kind of, that's a challenge for me personally. But I think with the way that everything is progressing, I think virtual is the only way that you can actually make something like this take off right now. So we went from very in-person and personable to now we're having to virtual, and then we have that in-person back behind it. So we've kind of had to flip our roles a little bit and how we approach our customers and how we handle our day-to-day. Yeah.
That was crazy.
I dig it.
I dig it.
That's Ryan's
Thanks.
word.
Okay.
I dig it.
So,
I
I was going to say, normally, we do guest questions periodically, and sometimes they text in. I want to get it to where they can call in,
Yeah.
because I think it'd be awesome.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Careful with that.
I just got
My
to,
opinion.
yeah, well, number one, producer,
Yeah. Ooh.
because he's going to,
Am I still
screen
good?
them.
Yeah.
Because he's going to screen them. And number two, I have to route it through the board, because
Yeah.
people are like, oh, just put it on speakerphone. And
No.
I'm like,
No. Just
So-
like way up here.
so
Hey.
for now,
Yeah.
they're text questions. So
Yeah.
this one says, can you talk about the fear most people have with moving to a performance-based mobility and compensation?
That's a fantastic question.
Yes.
When you work for somebody, there's structure, and you have somebody telling you clock in at 9, you leave at 5. These are the things that I expect you to do throughout the day to get your job done. When you're on your own, you have to make that transition and really be disciplined about how you perform your business and what you do from your day to day. So like when I said that I was really trying to figure out my flow, it's like it's taken me probably about a month and a half now to figure out exactly what my day to day now looks like, because instead of like cramming it in where I need to, now I get to actually plan it out. So I think discipline is really a big part of making it your own. And that's kind of how I dealt with my fears. I just sat down and scheduled everything out and made sure that I was staying on track, and I was my own boss and my own, you have to clock in at this time, and you clock out at this time. And where I still have that freedom to do what I want when I want, I still have a job to do.
Right.
So you have to have that mentality. Like you can't be lazy and work for yourself.
Exactly.
You're not going to get anything done. Like you
Yeah.
have to be driven with it, and you have to be dedicated to it.
Well, and I forgot who I was actually listening to in a podcast, but they were talking about how self-discipline actually equals freedom.
Yeah.
Because the more disciplined you are and the more structure you
Yes.
have, the more freedom you actually have and more flexibility you
Yes.
actually have. Because it's like, it's not, I think it's Parkinson's law, or I forget the law that says like whatever amount of time that you have, the work actually expands for whatever allotted amount of time. So it's like if you say I have to get this done within 2 hours, guess what? You're going to get it done within 2 hours. But if you take the whole 8-hour work day, that same amount of work is still going to get done within that 8-hour day. It's just the amount of time that you set forth for the actual time of work. It's crazy.
I'm reading a book by James Clear called Atomic Habit. Yeah, Atomic Habits. And he talks a lot about that. The habits that you build that help you with your structure actually free up your time. So
Right.
you want to focus your energy and your time into building good habits that will free up the rest of your time. So you kind of get in the habit of getting up in the morning and going to work for a few hours, and then you've got free time to do whatever you want to do. So I really feel like that's really important, that you have to have that structure with it.
Yeah.
And it does free up your day. Like,
It's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, it's crazy because I think a lot of people, like when they, hear that you're an entrepreneur, you own your own business, and you kind of work for yourself. They pictures like, oh, I'm just at the house, eating Cheetos, watching Jerry Springer, hanging out, watching the soaps.
Yeah, no. I wish. Like,
Ron, you don't like Cheetos? Yeah, don't
what's
give
wrong?
me that. You
Wait,
like
crunchy
Cheetos.
or puffy? Like, which one?
I like them both. That's fine. I like the
Crunchy.
crunchies are good.
You gotta be the
Fluffy.
crunchy.
So last night, Toya had these ones that were, I feel like they were Cheetos, but they were like spicy cheese fries.
Oh yeah, I've had those.
Mhm.
So they
Yeah.
were, they were so good.
Yeah, man.
The whole bag all at once.
Yeah.
Took a little
Some
extra
Cheetos.
heartburn medicine.
Anyway, but,
Extra
I say all
tactic.
that to say that discipline is a good
Yeah.
thing. It's not a negative word.
No. And I think people associate it with negativity, like because,
That's
your
smart.
parents discipline the kids, right?
Mhm.
And I think they don't realize that discipline also can be driven or motivated or I don't know. You have to have that mindset. You have to want to get up and work for yourself and then have your free time and then get there.
And I
Yeah.
apologize if there's anybody listening to this or watching this that is looking at Jerry Springer eating Cheetos or anything. I apologize if I offended you. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about somebody else.
It's really coming from Gavin at this point. I think it's a little bit of jealousy. I'm just saying.
Could be. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
hey,
That's
um.
what I like to be doing.
So we're getting more guest questions.
Yeah.
I'm screening it really quick.
Appreciate it.
Okay, so this is an interesting question. Heather, you seem very successful. What advice do you give people that do want massive success but might be scared to do sales?
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, and that's one that I actually hit a lot of because that's one of my number one reasons to not do what I do is everybody's like, I'm not a salesperson. And I tell every single person, if you love what you do, you're not selling it, you're sharing it.
Yeah.
Like you have to take that word out and you have to flip that script in your head because if you have that word sell in your head and you're already negative about that word, it's only going to make it worse. You're not going to want to do it. But if you share what you love and you share it with the people that you love, sharing is a lot more positive, right? So you flip that script in your head and now you're a little bit more successful with it because you're not selling, you're sharing.
Yeah.
And I tell every single person that comes onto my team, we don't sell here, we share here. Like, I've really seen a growth in, especially my new people, where they're not so afraid to put themselves out there and say, hey, this is what I'm doing now. Is it something you'd be interested in? And be like, yeah, I either want the product or I want to get the free stuff with the product or I want to join your team. Like people are a lot more outgoing when it's not selling and they take that negative out and put a positive in instead.
Yeah.
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 I'm a big fan of flipping the script.
I am too, and
Yeah.
I think that a lot of our culture, especially like with our generation, kind of gets lost with the whole sales thing.
Yep.
Because they think the old school salesman, the old school
Door to door with the vacuum and the briefcase.
vacuum, old school car salesman,
Nope.
that kind of thing. Yeah, I know, right?
You
Gotta
don't have
love
that vibe, man.
Yeah, I know, right? But I mean, everything with me, everything like every successful salesperson I know is very solution based, and it's not a negative thing. I mean, everything that you're doing involves sales. I mean, you're selling yourself every day. I mean, from to your personal life with whoever you're dating to eventually marry. Right? You had to sell yourself to Toya.
She said yes.
I know. You're a good salesman.
You're a good salesman.
to
the good of
just
the
like we were
group.
talking about with the job interview,
Yeah.
you're selling
Yeah,
yourself
absolutely.
on why I'm the best fit for this job.
Yeah.
I mean, everything is about sales, to a certain degree, and it doesn't necessarily have to have a negative connotation. But yeah,
Everything you just said makes me think of that book, which I have not read yet. I think
is
it's
it the
Grant
book
Cardone.
about meetings, like
Sell
no
or
chairs
be
make for
sold?
short?
Or the one with
short
all the
meetings?
words?
No, not that one.
No, that's still in my back pocket.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right, we'll bring that up one day.
So obviously, if a book comes
Yeah.
across, I like it. I want it. I
What,
put it on my bookshelf.
Yeah.
what you
got
said
it.
about Grant Cardone?
It's called Sell or Be Sold, and just the title of the book says that every situation is a sales situation.
Yeah,
We had to sell Heather on coming on the show.
yeah.
I had to, you had to sell me on doing the show to begin with. That was super difficult, right?
Yeah, it was super difficult, man. I
I'm
had
going
to
to
date
help
for a
you
long
produce
time on
your
that one,
show,
man.
but
Yeah.
we're going to call it something different. Count me in.
I'm in.
Where do I sign up?
But
Yes.
still, I mean, your 5-year-old sells you on.
Oh, buddy, you have no idea.
5-year-olds are master salesmen.
They are.
Like,
Kids are master salesmen in general.
in
They
general.
are in general.
That
yeah.
reminds me of Tom Hopkins. He's like, my son will be like, Dad, today, would you prefer that I have ice cream or candy?
Yes.
And Tom Hopkins calls that the alternative choice. He also
Yeah.
has one called the porcupine. I don't have a child example for that one, but that was very entertaining. He has because Tom Hopkins wrote the book, how to master the art of selling, I believe is what it's called. There's a YouTube video of him doing that presentation to a large
I'm
audience.
making mental notes, right? So I can like when I go home, yay.
Oh, you should, because I mean, not only is it valuable because he talks about things like that, and it's like, people think of the sleazy car salesman, but
Sorry, dude.
that is a stigma. That is it's not real. It's really not.
Yeah.
Because not only is it a fraction of people in sales, because we just talked about this at the end of the day, everyone is in sales, but also, he talks about like filling needs and answering questions, and helping people. So much like you talked about associating it to something positive where you're sharing, Tom Hopkins, another one of my favorite ones is Herb Cohen. He does You Can Negotiate Anything, and he just lays it out, and it's basically like how you're holding a conversation, and if this question is asked, this is how you answer it, and you're just helping people. At the end of the day, if they say no, they say no.
Yeah.
But
And that's another big. Sorry, I interrupted.
you're good.
Yeah,
Go.
that's another big thing that I have in the company that I'm with is a lot of people are afraid to put themselves out there because of the word no. And I'm like, bro, you need to collect those like trophies.
That's
like
right.
if you're not putting yourself out there and if you're not getting 10 no's a day, then you're doing something wrong. Like I don't want your yeses, I want your no's. And so I actually do challenges for my team. Hey, how many no's are we going to get today? So that means that they're now putting themselves out there to get that no. They're going to get the yes. But they have to put themselves out there. And as soon as they rip that off, that Band-Aid, then they're good and they just sail.
Yeah.
But you have to go for the no. That's one of my biggest things. You got to go for the no. Yeah. That's in life in general. The answer will always be no if you don't ask.
That's true.
Forever. I like the yeses, but I love the no's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to have the nose too.
Yeah.
To be successful.
Definitely.
I like the no's.
It's awesome.
Sorry, I didn't mean to take your.
That's okay. I just jumped in and was like, oh my God, I'm so excited.
No, that's awesome. I totally agree with that. So I kind of want to move to the questions we've had brewing.
Yeah, I like that. Let's do it.
Ooh,
Are
fun.
you down? I was making sure we didn't have any more from the audience
Yes.
/ text messages.
Wouldn't it be cool, like if one of the audience members like threw a shoe at you and you like dodged it like George Bush? Wouldn't that be
Please don't be throwing stuff because I don't. Shoes are coming off back behind the camera. Just
Gavin is about to get his Ask Ryan questions privilege revoked.
Sorry, it's the live audience.
You
All
can
this
no
time I thought we
longer
were
ask
friends,
me
like-
questions. You can ask her questions. You can ask Nick questions. You can ask yourself questions. You can ask the carpet questions.
Yeah.
You can't ask Ryan any more
oh,
questions.
sad panda.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a sad game. Man,
Yeah.
It is
out
sad.
of all this right after our anniversary. Dude,
Yeah.
come on, man.
It'll be all right.
So how long y'all been together?
September was our 1-year anniversary.
Congratulations.
It was like August 20 something.
Yeah.
Oh, he's pulling.
Yeah.
Wife, husband, right? Like he's pulling out the date. He went like August 26th at 4 p.m.
It was a Tuesday. It was sunny that day.
You were wearing green. I remember it vividly.
I remember very vividly.
Because I can't remember if we went live for our first 2 episodes or not, but we did them on the same
think we
night.
did.
I don't think we
Yeah,
did
I don't think
either.
we did. I think we recorded them.
But then I posted them, and so it could have been like up to a week after we recorded them.
Yeah. So, anyway, enough about us.
Yeah. So you guys have been doing this for a year?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah. It's been,
I'm gonna go back because I was introduced yesterday. I didn't even know this was a thing, right? I
Oh,
was introduced,
Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
This,
I've been scrolling through, so I'm gonna go back and watch and get all caught up.
So
Yeah.
so our very first 2 episodes I left up there, all the business and brews episodes I left up there, but we rebranded this from my show, which was the Retail Tale, and then even before that, it was literally just Ryan learned how to use YouTube.
Hey.
That's right.
Like Megan, so all those should be hidden since we rebranded it. It should all be Business and Brew stuff.
I know people. We'll find them.
Okay.
Those are my people, by the way, so you know you're safe, right?
That's
I mean, I can just send them to you, but they should be hidden on the channels anyways. But yeah, it was a good time. We did. We were each other's first guest.
Hey,
Yeah,
that's cool.
Pretty good.
that's how we got started.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So you want to do the questions we've had brewing?
Yeah.
Why do I all of a sudden feel very nervous? I don't know if you can you see their smiles? Like I all of a sudden got very hey.
Yeah.
So this is I feel like an idea I had after I believe his name is Nathan Latka. I believe he does the top. So he interviews top entrepreneurs, CEOs, making anywhere from they're very successful, so I'm not going to put a number on it, but he asks them
Thank you.
3 or 4 questions every single time at the very end. So that's kind of what this is modeled after.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I'll go ahead and ask the first one. Whenever you're not busy growing people and helping people achieve their goals and dreams,
Yeah.
what do you like to do for fun?
This we actually talked about this yesterday. I'm actually finding that out because, like I said, I've been doing 2 jobs full time for about a year and a half now. So I've been working anywhere from 70, 80, 90 hours a week. So that doesn't give a lot of downtime. So I'm actually figuring that out. I like to read. So I want to get back into that. I like yoga, and I kind of I'm ready to just get like out in the public and kind of, branch out and see what I do like and stuff. But you can't do that because everything's shut down. Yeah. So right now I like to read. Does that count?
That does count.
I Netflix a lot.
That's a good one.
That
That's
absolutely
a good one.
counts.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
So if you could have dinner with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Dead or alive, huh? That's a great question.
We
Willie
thought
Nelson.
Willie Nelson.
Willie Nelson.
Yes.
Why
Yeah.
Willie Nelson? That's pretty cool, though. That's a good answer. but
Right,
why-
thank
why
you.
Willie Nelson?
Because he's 159 million years old, so he's got all the stories.
All the
and
wisdom.
yeah.
I
No,
feel
like,
like you miscounted.
did I? Is that half a date? Just give or take. Yeah. No. I actually got to see him live 4 years ago, I think. So
Okay.
yeah. So
Nice.
yeah, so I got to see him live, and he was still playing very hard when we left at midnight because we had an hour and a half drive home. So like
Wow.
Willie Nelson outlasted me, and I was like, now hold on a minute.
Yeah.
But like just his stories and if you ever watch him do an interview, the advice that he has and his funny one-liners, and he's somebody that I would really love to just meet, and just kind of hang out with. Yeah, I would
I can get
totally
down with
hang
that.
out with Willie Nelson.
Down with that.
But maybe
Yeah.
after he turns 160 million.
So you're saying there's a chance?
There is a
right?
chance.
Yes.
There
Yes.
is a chance.
Yeah.
So anyways, you kind of already touched on it, so I'm going to ask you.
Yeah.
We like to know what people are currently consuming, so it sounds like it might be a book.
Yeah, so right now I'm reading Atomic Habits by James Clear, and I'm really into anything Lizzo because she's all about women and self-empowerment and feeling beautiful in your own skin and owning where you are. And so she's actually I have music going all the time. The fact that I don't, like, it's all up in my head. But I put her on, like, Pandora. Yeah, I put her on Pandora, and it's all powerful women singing about being a powerful woman.
Yeah.
And then James Clear is all about building good habits and then destroying old habits, like the bad ones, and kind of finding that balance there. I also listen to a lot of trainings. So I'll just put things on in the background. You had actually mentioned Les Brown in one of your other videos, and he's one of my
Les Brown's
favorites.
a
I
really
just
good
put
one.
him on and just let him go.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
saw him live in Atlanta. Yeah. Oh my goodness,
I can
that
only
man
imagine.
is so funny. He's even better because he laughs at his own jokes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's just like,
Yes.
I love this guy.
Yeah.
You have to
He
laugh at
gets
yourself,
me.
though. Yeah.
He gets
Like,
me.
you can't go through this life and not laugh at yourself because we're ridiculous, right? And the crap that I know that I do is just dumb. And if you can't laugh at yourself, you're having a really hard time with life. Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So I pretty much consume anything that'll make me a better person than I was yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah.
I
So
dig it.
Heather, if people
Yes,
want to
sir.
get a hold of you or
Yeah.
learn more about what you do, where
Yeah.
can they find you at?
I'm on Facebook. I think it's on I think there's a link on the video, so I'm on Facebook. I can also pop my phone number down in there, or I can say it if I need to. Do I need to say it?
We can put it in the show.
Dealer's
notes.
choice.
Cool. My phone number is 918-541-6103. I highly recommend texting because if I don't know the number, I don't answer.
Yeah.
And nobody likes to leave voicemails.
No.
So that's cool. Like if you really want to get a hold of me, you need to text me or leave a voicemail so I can get a hold of you back.
Cool.
But yeah, and then Facebook, literally, I'm all over. Like I said, my business went social media, so
Yeah.
I'm about 95% sales social media.
So I'm going to go ahead afterwards and put your number right next to the Facebook. So if you guys want to get in touch with Heather, ask her questions, figure out what in the world it is she does, or just pick her brain, then cell phone number, texting, and Facebook.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Those are the easiest ways to get with me.
Heather@dundermifflin.com.
Yes, that's perfect.
So
It's fantastic.
in 2020, when most
I'm gonna
companies are
research
paperless, she sells paper.
Paper. It's a thriving business right now.
So, yeah, it's very thriving.
Okay, so Heather doesn't sell paper.
I do not sell
Does
paper.
not.
She
No.
sells hopes and dreams.
Yeah.
Does not work for Dunder Mifflin. Sorry.
Not, yeah.
That was just a joke.
Steve Carell's going to write the show. And be
He's
like,
somebody
I heard
else that
what
I would
you
like to
said.
just hang out with.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
insane.
I like pretty much anything he does.
So it's a dinner for three. Willie
Yes.
Nelson,
Right?
Steve Carell.
Can you
and
really go
Heather.
wrong with that trio?
No, I don't
Four.
think you
Oh,
could.
Clayton's got to go.
Yeah, Clayton. Clayton's like, yeah, I'm
And
definitely
Clayton doesn't
there.
go without Rosie, so now we're at
Yes,
5.
We're at 5. It's a 5 top. Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess he's paying, so
Yeah, oh, yeah.
he's okay with that.
He's got it.
Yeah,
he's got it. Willie Nelson is paying, just so we're all aware. He
Yeah.
doesn't even know yet.
Definitely is paying. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes,
yeah.
we're friends.
So I forgot to talk about it at the beginning, but Nick and I have a new show coming out on October 20th, which I definitely need to push out some previews. I just did some clips the other day, so I'm super excited about it. But it is called How to Build a Business During a Pandemic. And actually, Gavin Vincent over here is a guest host on 1 or 2 episodes. So
Yes.
if you guys haven't heard about it or don't know about it, then that's coming out October 20th. Keep your ear to the ground. It will be on all of the channels that we're currently on. Just obviously not live. This is a pre-recorded show that we're doing, much like tonight due to technical difficulties. But anyways,
You just got added to my in the background training things, right? Like, yeah.
that's awesome. So, anyways, we're talking about, number one, everybody has this thing that they've wanted to do. Number two, maybe they haven't pulled the trigger. They don't know which direction to go. So what's great about it, what I absolutely love about it is it's Nick and I with 2 different perspectives, 2 different approaches, 2 different outcomes, sitting down and talking about just the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent.
That's fantastic.
All the way through. So it's really great. It's some really great conversation recorded right here in the Trek CBD studios. So keep an eye on their website, trekcbd.com. Keep an eye on our website, businessandbrewsshow.com, which is also in the description of this video for that new show coming out, because it's going to be great. And if you guys are gaining anything from this, the good news is you can subscribe for as little as 99 cents a month. Obviously, that's the minimum. Gavin likes to talk about the number of ramen packets.
Yes, top ramen. You can get 3 top ramens for $1, apparently.
Where?
But
Yes.
you could also subscribe for $2 a month or $3 a month.
You can.
It's whatever value you feel you're getting out of this. So at the end of the day, I spend more than that on Wi-Fi adapters for my computer at Walmart last minute. So 99 cents a month is nothing in the grand scheme of things.
There was
but,
no hostility there either, by the way.
No.
None. You did very well at hiding that.
Yes. Sorry for all the people watching that work at Walmart or have any affiliation with Walmart. We'd love to have you as a sponsor. The comments and remarks of Ron Smeltzer or his alone do not reflect Trek CBD or Business Improvement.
That's a nice asterisk moment you had right there. That's pretty good.
But at the end of the day, like and share the videos. If you're listening to the audio podcast on your favorite podcast platform, we're pretty much everywhere. As new channels show up for us to be on, then we are working on pushing those out. But iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to podcasts, share it with your friends, like and subscribe. Give us a 5-star rating. Tell your friends to give us a 5-star rating. This is what helps us continue to produce great content with great business owners in a great store, which is Trek CBD. So
this is fun. Like, this whole concept is fantastic.
Oh, we're
This
not
is
done
awesome.
yet.
Oh, I'm fully on.
Yeah, yeah. Please stick around for the after brews
Right.
because
Yeah.
the Columbus Day special after brews. I like it. All right. So you ready to take us out? Or
Yeah,
all right.
I am if you are.
All right. First off, Heather, thank you so much for being here. We
Thank you so much for
appreciate
having me.
you. Appreciate you for being our guest.
Yeah.
Special shout out to our guest producers who will be on the after brews. Stick around for that. Definitely be sure to stick around for that. Sure, we're going to have a lot of good conversations coming up with that.
It's going to be awesome.
Again, thanks to my awesome host, Ryan Smeltz. And
Who does not look crazy at all right now
no.
either.
At least he's not driving a box truck tonight.
Very true. He's got the eye thing going, though. That was a little intense.
Yeah,
I
very
am producing and hosting at the same time.
Awesome. Please stick around. Please check out the After Brew when it goes live on the channel. Of course, if you're subscribed to the channel or like the channel, you'll get that notification. Please watch it. And next time, we'll see you next time. Thank you guys so much.
This episode of the After Brews is, of course, brought to you by Trek CBD. My name is Ryan Smeltz.
And I'm Gavin Vincent.
And I am Heather Windle.